You've seen the ads, right? Unlock your DNA's potential. Eat for your unique genetic makeup. It's this hugely appealing idea. I mean, a diet that's not just a guess, but a scientifically perfect match for you. Okay, let's really dive into this and see if the science actually lives up to that incredible promise.
So this is the big question, isn't it? Is there really a perfect diet hidden somewhere inside our DNA? Can a quick genetic test actually tell you exactly what to eat to lose weight, feel amazing, and even prevent disease? It sounds like the ultimate health hack, but is it for real?
You know, the whole eat for your genes promise is just so powerful because it feels like it solves a problem we've all had. We get told forever to eat less fat, less sugar, less salt, but that one-size-fits-all advice, it just doesn't work for everyone. And personalized nutrition comes along and promises to finally crack that code.
So what are we actually talking about here? Well, the official term is personalized nutrition, and the core idea is pretty simple. It's about moving beyond those generic guidelines and creating dietary advice that's tailored to your unique biology, your genes, your metabolism, the whole shebang. Here's a perfect way to see the difference in action. Conventional advice is super broad, right? Eat less salt. But a personalized approach, it gets laser-focused. It might say something like, hey, because you have a risk variant in your ACE gene, which is linked to blood pressure, you specifically should limit your sodium to 1,500 milligrams. See that? It's targeted.
Now, it all sounds fantastic in theory, but does it actually work in the real world? To figure that out, we've got to look at the evidence. So we're going to break down a major systematic review that acted like a detective, really, gathering up all the best studies to see what they say when you put them all together.
And this review didn't just look at any old study. Nope, it focused on the gold standard, randomized controlled trials. They pulled together the results from 9 different high-quality trials. We're talking over 2,300 people here to get the most reliable answer they possibly could.
And the top-line verdict? Well, this was a bit of a shocker. The researchers concluded that, overall, the findings did not show consistent benefits. That's a huge splash of cold water on the whole idea that a DNA test is the magic bullet for your diet. But, wait a minute, it's not quite that simple. Because when you really dig into the details, the story gets a whole lot more interesting. See, inconsistent doesn't mean useless, it just means the results were, well, a very mixed bag. Some things seemed to work, and other things really didn't.
And here's where you can see that mixed bag perfectly. There was one clear win. Giving people personalized advice about their salt-related genes consistently helped them cut back on salt. Awesome. But for other stuff, the results were all over the map. Fat intake was mixed, and when it came to sugar, weight loss, and blood lipids, the personalized advice showed no significant impact over just getting standard advice.
The researchers themselves really hammered this point home. They state that the most solid, consistent evidence we have right now is for using this genetic information to help people reduce their salt intake. It just seems that knowing you have a specific, personal genetic reason to cut back on salt is a really powerful motivator.
So, the next logical question is why? Why are the results so mixed? Is the whole theory just wrong? Well, not necessarily. The scientists pointed out some pretty big gaps in the research that help explain why we don't have those clear answers just yet. Okay, here are the main culprits. First off, most of these studies were done on people of European or North American descent, so we have no idea if the results apply to everyone. They also tended to focus on healthy adults, not people who already have diseases. And a huge one, most of the studies were pretty short-term. But the biggest challenge of all is just the mind-boggling complexity of it all.
Because it's not as simple as one gene for coffee and another for carbs. Your health is like this massive dashboard with thousands of interacting dials. You've got your genes, your diet, your sleep, exercise, your microbiome. They all influence each other constantly. Current science is still just figuring out how to read that entire dashboard all at once.
But that is exactly where the next chapter of this story is heading. The field isn't giving up, it's leveling up, with some incredibly powerful new tools to tackle that complexity. And the key, you guessed it, is artificial intelligence. This is leading us into what some people are calling the omics era. Researchers are now using AI and machine learning to analyze these massive data sets, genomics, metabolomics, all of it, to find patterns that would be absolutely impossible for a human to see.
For example, one recent project used machine learning to predict who would lose the most weight on a particular diet. Just by analyzing 2 metabolites in their blood at the beginning, the AI model could predict with surprising accuracy who was going to have the most success.
I mean, that's a total game changer.
And it gets even more futuristic. Scientists are working on concepts like dietary rational gene targeting. The whole idea is to use specific foods and nutrients not just for general health, but as precision tools to literally turn down the activity of disease-causing genes and turn up the good ones. It's basically using fruit as a form of genetic medicine.
So while your DNA might not hold a simple, perfect diet plan for you today, the science is moving incredibly fast, which leaves us with a final fascinating question to chew on. Will your next diet plan come not from a book or a trainer, but be written for you and only you by an AI? The future of nutrition might be more personal than we ever imagined.